That's the first ballot actually going in.
The first primary vote of 2024.
Hello, New Hampshire.
A campaign that began with 9 candidates
This is not my time.
has been reduced to just 2.
We don't have a clear path to victory.
One fella and one lady left.
And as the indicted frontrunner continues to split his time between the voters and the jurors,
He's a nasty judge.
New Hampshire goes to the polls
We're tired of losing.
with the fate of the Republican nomination in its hands.
The president has to have immunity.
America doesn't do coronations.
Tonight, special election coverage with Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, Chris Hayes, Alex Wagner, Ari Melber, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Stephanie Rule, plus MSNBC's campaign experts, and Steve Kornacki with results and analysis at the big board.
It is now officially a Trump-Haley race.
Special coverage of the 2024 New Hampshire primary begins now.
Back so soon. I know. It's like we never left. You never even had time to miss us. Iowa was just last week. Tonight is New Hampshire. But after this, you are going to miss us. After tonight, the next Republican primary isn't for another month. Good evening from MSNBC. I'm Rachel Maddow here with my beloved colleagues Lawrence O'Donnell and Joy Reid and Ari Melber and Chris Hayes. Great to have you guys all here. We're going to be joined by Alex Wagner and Jen Psaki and Stephanie Rule as the night goes on. The Republican presidential primary in 2024 is now winnowed down to 2 candidates, one very much the frontrunner and one very much the underdog. New Hampshire tonight may be the best chance the underdog is ever going to get in this race. The great Steve Kornacki is here with us tonight. As always, he is our compass and our guide. We're going to be also checking in live with our correspondents across New Hampshire, where most polls in today's presidential primary will close just 1 hour from now at 7 p.m. Eastern. The very last polls in New Hampshire will close at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, you're used to seeing big blowout New Hampshire primary coverage every 4 years, and tonight is no exception. But as with so many other things in 2024, this year does have to be a little bit different. President Biden and the Democratic Party decided not to hold the Democrats' first primary this year in New Hampshire. Instead, they're letting South Carolina go first. The state of New Hampshire insisted, nevertheless, on holding their Democratic primary today. It's a purely symbolic affair. There are no delegates at stake on the Democratic side. Registered Democrats who want to vote for Joe Biden in New Hampshire tonight will have to write in his name. On the Republican side, Donald Trump's last remaining rival is Nikki Haley. She may have her best shot at a primary win in famously independent-minded New Hampshire. She does, everybody concedes, face tough odds. If Donald Trump finishes tonight with the margin of victory the latest polls predict, Haley says she won't drop out, but it will start to look like Trump has locked up the nomination. Which, of course, is what you would want, too, if you, too, were facing 91 felony charges and 4 criminal trials, plus civil trials up the wazoo. You, too, in such circumstances, would presumably want to lock in your nomination before potentially being convicted anywhere and before any of your various trials could reveal more to the American people about your alleged crimes. A not inconsiderable number of Republican voters tell pollsters that if Donald Trump is convicted in one of his trials, they will not vote for him in the general election. If Trump locks up the nomination before his trials start, the Republican Party will find itself between a rock and a hard place. They may be locked in to not giving those voters any other Republican choice. If that's where tonight leads us, if the Joe Biden-Donald Trump rematch is set, this will be the earliest a presidential general election matchup has been decided in